Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stefan's Kitchen. And this is going to be more experimental, but this week, potato and cheddar soup with ham. Now, I say experimental because I didn't go by a recipe. I had done this all on my own. I kind of recreated it. But I did make one simple mistake in this, and that is with the ham. And I'll explain in just a bit. Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up our ham so we can actually cook it up a little bit and let the water get seasoned and flavored with the ham. And that's basically going to be the protein for our soup. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take 2 big onions and we're going to chop them all up nice into a nice dice. You don't have to have them too small. We're going to take a hot pan, and we're going to put some olive oil inside, about 2 tablespoons for those 2 big onions that we have there. And I had to balance out my pan because it's one of those older ones with a long handle, and it's a piece of garbage. Anyways, we're going to take all those onions that we chopped up, and we're going to put them in the pan, and we're going to let them cook on low or medium heat so that they can sweat out. Now, you don't want them to go golden or brown or you know, anything like that. You don't want them fried too much. You just want them to sweat a little bit. And you'll see in the next little bit, more or less like this. You can see that it has a little bit of color, not too much, but more or less we let it get translucent. Now, here's the problem. I should have left the ham, like I said, to boil, and then once it was boiled, I should have removed it from the liquid to add in later, and that's because we're going to be blending this soup, and I end up blending it with ham in it, so you'll see. Anyways, the next thing we're going to do is, again, if you have the ham removed and you just have the liquid there, you're just going to add in your onions that we just fried. Don't worry about the little bit of olive oil that gets in there. It's just going to add in more onion flavor. People are weird about adding extra quote-unquote fat and stuff. Don't worry about it too much. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill up this pot then, the remainder of the pot, with chicken stock. So it might take 1, maybe 2 boxes, all depending on the size of the pot you want to use and how much liquid you want mixed in there. Because, I mean, like I said, the ham boiled in there, it's going to provide a lot of flavor. And of course, we never forget, season. Always, always, always season. It's one of the most important things in cooking. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grind up some nice pepper, some black pepper. Could have used some white pepper, but we don't have any on hand, and it's not that big a deal. Next, we're going to add in a little bit of salt. Not too much, because the ham itself is salty. But we're adding in the salt because we're adding in potatoes. And basically, I took a mandolin and we just cut them very, very thin sliced, so they're like dollar fries, and we put them in there. That way they boil faster, they boil easier, and they'll also break down. You don't have to take out the skins or anything. It's really nice, actually. And that's another nice thing about blending, is that the skins also get blended, and you get more of the minerals that are within the skin itself, and the fiber. So basically, you can't see it. Off camera, I'm actually taking a measuring cup and filling up the blender jug with the soup. Now the thing is, when you're blending hot soup, it will jump up. It will try and force that container off, so do it slowly, 1 small buzz at a time, until it starts going evenly and you don't have to worry about it flying up. But yeah, we're going to do this with all the soup, and like I said, if I'd taken the ham out, it would have been better for the fact that, as you can see, the consistency and the color, the consistency is not too bad. It got a weird kind of grainy texture. You can feel the piece of meat in it, but I can see why people probably wouldn't want it. Not only that, but the color of it is really gross. It's like a pink colored soup, and it looks, honestly, it really does look gross. I won't lie to you guys, it really does. But we're gonna blend up all the soup, and like I said, if we had blended it up the way I had wanted it to, without the ham in it, it would have been a nice standard white, almost beige color because of the onions and the potatoes and your chicken stock. And you know, like I said, then what you do is you add your ham in after it's blended. That way you can get your nice big chunks of ham, and it's good. Now, don't get me wrong, the way that it was, it wasn't horrible. It actually tasted great. It tasted probably exactly the way it would if you didn't blend up the ham. But I guess the other thing is that you probably get less ham flavor intensified throughout the soup the other way than you would this way, because this way you're getting like more ham dispersed, and every bite you're going to have ham regardless whether it's blended or, you know, more so than if it was chunked. Anyways, don't want to get into the mathematics and crap or whatever you want to say about that. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to return the soup to the pot that I boiled it in. There we go. And I'm just going to scrape at the excess. And that's all we have to do. Let it warm up. And then once you got it warmed up, you can pour a little bit into a bowl. Sprinkle some cheddar cheese on top. My God, I'm getting tongue-tied. And, yeah, then you can garnish with pretty much anything else you want. I mean, if you want to add in some green onions, that's good. Croutons, people like really having croutons with these kinds of soups. Another thing that we decided to put on there was a little sprinkling of bacon. And these are real bacon bits. It's not those artificial ones made out of bread or anything. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I know, like I said, the consistency looks gross, or the color looks gross. But, like I said, take the ham out after you boil it the first time, and then add it in after it's blended. And it'll look way better. It should taste just as good, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. I really love soups. I've always enjoyed soups. I've always been good at cooking them, so... Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you ever try it, because I would love to hear what you guys think of this recipe. It's kind of, like I said, made up out the top of my head. So, see ya.